Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick and today guys we're going to be jumping down into the world of Bitcoin, taking a look at what's been going on most recently and what I think is likely to happen next. Now as I get into today's video, if you do find it useful and informative, smash that like button, do appreciate that, help spread the content to more like-minded individuals. If you're new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe by tapping the bell and selecting all the notifications. You will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Now if you haven't yet joined us in Discord, what are you waiting for? Check it out, link is in the description below. It's a fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there, so why not go ahead and check it out. Let's jump right down into today's video, kicking things off with the 1 hour time frame. So here we have Bitcoin paired up with USDT. We're using Binance as the data source here. As you can kind of see, we're stuck in this continuation based pattern. This is something that is more than likely going to be breaking on down. Let me show you right here. I'm going to actually just extend this trend line out a little bit. And of course, on the higher side here as well, I'm actually going to take it on this one here just to show you how this is kind of thinning in a little bit as we kind of extend this one out here as well. Okay, so we have this ascending wedge. This is a continuation bearish pattern because of what led into it. We can see here that we had this 5-wave move to the downside. We then have this kind of continuation, this consolidation here, kind of reaching up into this apex here. And the likelihood is that we move back down a little ways. Okay, so we're looking for a 3-wave correction overall before we can continue this move upwards. I suspect that we are still inside our wave 4, and I'm going to show you what I mean by all of that. So before we get into the Elliott wave theory side of things, we'll just take a look at the more traditional side. We can see that we are above the 50 EMA, the 50 SMA, and the 200 EMA. That's the white line, the red line, and the yellow line that you see there, right? 50 EMA being red, 50 SMA being yellow, and the white line is your 200 EMA. Now, here we can see that we've been dancing around these areas as we've been kind of coiling up into this apex here and also hitting the upper area of resistance. Higher highs and higher lows do have a tendency to want to break on down, specifically with the overlapping structures that we see here. Now, our smart money concepts is still in a bullish structure. That's okay, but I suspect that we're going to have another bearish flag get indicated down here as we kind of move back down into the 3-wave structure. Now, the issue with this is that like we saw previously, right, we had the bullish pattern that turned into bearish, that turned into bullish. I'm going to suggest that we go back into bearish, and then it's all going to be false flags as we still have this push up higher to come. Okay, the only reason I think that's going to break down is if the sentiment changes in any way, which I don't think it has just yet. So what we're looking for here is going to be a 5-wave count to the downside. But before we go down, I imagine that we're probably going to spike up a little bit, liquidate any of those long positions, and then move on down. Wouldn't be too surprised if we don't move up towards this resistance of around 37,170, and then we break on down towards 34,700. Okay, and again, we'll be looking to breach this wick low here and also liquidate any longs that are using that as their stop loss. Okay, so as I said, all of this is going to be our wave 4, and that's going to kind of complete out that pattern. Let me zoom out a little bit. That's going to kind of complete the wave 4 here. Now, I said before, the wave 4 cannot and should not cross lower than 34,120. If it does, it will break this structure completely, and it is not what is going on, and we'll have to remap to what is going on. It will basically put an end to this 5-wave pattern as I have it drawn here. It doesn't necessarily mean that we are not in a diagonal based pattern. What it would mean essentially is that we actually completed with a double top situation right here, and we just get a really, really weak truncated wave 5 like so. Okay, so I'm speculating that this is actually a flat corrective pattern, and realistically we still have this push to the upside to complete the pattern out. Okay, that's kind of where I stand on it. We'll see what kind of plays out, of course, but I'm still seeing this as a move down and then a big move up, and then we're just going to wipe everybody out. We're going to basically see all of those longs get wiped out on this move down. We'll have the push upwards. We'll wipe out any remaining short positions, and then obviously with a new higher high getting set, that'll allow FOMO to set back in. More long positions will come in, and well, bam, price will drop back down again. One big liquidity hunt. I feel that is kind of what is going on here. Now, From a daily standpoint, as you can kind of see, we're tracking the 5-wave point, which is a 335. It's not an impulsive, larger structural move or anything like that. It is corrective, but it has an impulsive element to it. And here we are looking for that $40,000 level. We're looking for the 5th wave. So that 5-wave structure that I'm talking about on the hourly chart, on the daily chart is just the 5th wave movement. So let me show you. I'll draw it in here so you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're looking for that 5th. Right. So we're looking for this expanding diagonal-based structure, and we're looking for it to kind of complete at between $38,000 and $40,000, and we are then done. Okay, with this pattern being complete, and hopefully this move to the upside towards 38,000, 40,000 lifts our stochastic daily RSI up towards the overbought. Then that's going to line up our monthly being overbought, our weekly being overbought, our daily being overbought, and pretty much most time frames being overbought at that point, indicating a big shift to the downside where we're going to be talking about moving down towards equilibrium. So we're talking $30,000 to $31,000, and then if we don't hold that as a key area of support, we're going to have to then drop back down even further towards $24,000 to $25,000, and if you can't hold that, $20,000 to $21,000. So those are the key 3 areas. I don't know if I have them drawn out on here, and I don't. On the weekly time frame, we can see we are in the ascending wedge, not so good, not so bullish. You can see the upper area of resistance getting hit right now. You can also see the equilibrium here between the all-time high and our bear market low point, coming in at 50%, is coming in, I think, just at $40,000. So it's actually not the 50% level. It is the premium and discounted areas which have a little bit of a gap here. So it's actually more between 18,000 and 66,000. So nonetheless, interesting kind of stuff to see there. Now, I expect that we are likely to push this up a little bit further before pulling it down. Obviously, people will have a lot of hope that 30,000 is going to hold, and there's a lot of hope there to be seen for sure. My expectations, though, are that with all these Bitcoin spot ETFs kind of getting delayed, that we're going to push up towards that $38,000 to $40,000, if I can get my words out today, and then we're going to see more delays. We'll see BlackRock spot ETF get delayed, and then we're just going to see pure fear come into the space and a kind of cascading free fall for the price action of BTC. Now, obviously, I'm speculating there because I just do not see how Gary Gensler is going to approve. I think he's just going to kick that can down the road. I think when we do see these Bitcoin spot ETFs approved, it will just not be under Gary Gensler's watch. I think he'll delay again and he'll be out the door. He'll get fired. He'll just be replaced with somebody else that will approve, because it is inevitable that these Bitcoin spot ETFs, in my opinion, will get approved. I don't think BlackRock's Bitcoin spot ETF is going to get denied, but I do not see it getting approved through Gary Gensler's watch. So let me know what you think about that in the comments below. But ultimately, I just think he's going to keep delaying or coming up with reasons to delay, and he's just going to be kicking that can down the road. So I think the next update on the BlackRock spot ETF is going to be another delay, like we've seen delays with some other Bitcoin spot ETFs already, and that's going to basically push things into 2024. Now, just because an approval comes along doesn't necessarily mean you have a product either. I think there's going to be about a 6-month gap between when you have an approval and when you have a product. So let's hypothetically say BlackRock spot ETF does get approved in January of 2024. My expectations will be that you're not going to see the spot ETF physical product until you get to June of 2024. That would be my kind of feelings on that one. I think there's going to be time to take. And obviously, when you have one of these spot ETFs, it's going to also take time for liquidity to get added into the product as well. It's not going to be instantaneous. So it's going to be a bit of a slow burn, and I think that's going to take a lot of retail investors by surprise. We're probably going to see some people who were kind of really hoping and pinning all their hopes and dreams on, Bitcoin spot ETFs, Bitcoin halving events, and things like these, kind of, getting them into a bullish market for early next year. And I think actually the reality is going to be a big sell the news event when we do see BlackRock spot ETF get approved. I could be wrong. Hopefully I am wrong. I don't want to be right on this one. I would much rather just see, pure kind of spikes to the upside, a product launching within 1 week of approval. I just do not think that that's realistic. So I think for the most part, with all of the kind of hopes and the hype being built up into it, with the surge of Bitcoin's price at the moment to the upside, Realistically speaking, we haven't seen a lot from a volume point of view. You can see here on Bitstamp, the volumes are very, very low in comparison to where they were previously in the previous bull market. So it's hard to think that we're in a bullish market on these kind of volume profiles. And this is on Bitstamp. If you take a look at it from USDT on Binance, you can see the volumes are even worse. We're just not really seeing the volume profiles of something that looks like a bullish environment. So I think for the most part, we're going to be it's going to be very, very interesting to kind of see how this one plays out for sure. So yeah, I think where we stand at the moment is that Bitcoin's at a critical moment. It is still possible for it to push up higher towards $40,000. We are not necessarily there just yet, but we're getting there. I'm going to leave the video there. If you have found it useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you're new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Until the next one though, guys, have a fantastic day.